my speech is fast break before the defense settles down. Fast break is a basketball term. It means a fast offense when your team gets the possession of the ball before the defense settles down. The finest fast break is the one you make after the rival makes the basket. The rival doesn't even have the chance to cheer up. You make the basket, compensate the mistake, break the resistance of the defense, break the spell, break something. Speaking of break, it evokes two meanings to me. Being broken, for example, when the rival makes the basket, you are broken, you fell down. Then spontaneously you get up and this time you break the rival team. Sometimes I think basketball and life has similarities. Rival, defense, to be broken, to break. When we dream of something, we aim something, there is always a rival, a defense. Sometimes it is something beyond our control, such as economy, crisis, social and cultural structures, and etc. And sometimes the closest ones, teammates, friends, family, colleagues, husband, wife. But there is one defender which is the most difficult to defeat. Ourselves. The toughest rival is ourselves. It is the toughest rival while going to our aim. I started playing basketball for Galatasaray. At 1978, I represented my country in the junior national team in European Cup. A great honor. National team coach gave a very positive report about me, and Galatasaray authorities, who already knew me, decided to upgrade me to professional team. I was promoted to the professional team of Galatasaray, and I was dating the most beautiful and smartest girl of the entire high school. What else could a 17-year-old boy wish for? I started the trainings, working like a dog. One night, as I returned home, I was extremely tired. I could literally not even raise my arm, high fever, vomiting all night. Next morning, I went to see a doctor and viral hepatitis B was diagnosed. What meant no basketball for 6 months. I could not walk fast, let alone play basketball. Shattered dreams, reality may be different. It is not that easy. I went back to Ankara, to my family, bed rest. After the recovery, back to Istanbul after 2 months. I had missed the Bengay smell of the locker rooms. I missed my teammates. I spoke to my coach. He said, nothing to do, you're gonna rest. In the meantime, you can practice free throws and shoot one hand with a minimum effort. Well, good idea. I could do that. After that day, in every break, every time I could, with a junior from the high school, we called them young brothers, I shot the ball to the basket. As February came, I was back on the basketball court. Started the practices. I was in a very bad condition physically, and there was the national championship of juniors in 3 months. I worked harder than anyone else for 3 months. In May, when the championship started, I was physically in good condition, but something was different. I was turned to be a shooting machine. With 33 points per game average, best player, best guard, most valuable player, I grabbed all the prizes. Our team played the final. It was fabulous. Last year at the ICF conference, a lady, a high executive, was telling her own coaching experience. Whenever she faces a crisis, her coach asks her, okay, this is a big problem, this is a crisis, but what is the hidden gift in it? Where is the opportunity? My viral hepatitis B crisis, where I thought my basketball career was finished, the opportunity for me was becoming a shooting machine during all my basketball life. Being second captain of Galatasaray team, winning 2 championships in a row and a President Cup. 25 years after all that happened, Aytek Gürkan, one of the legendary basketball players and the role model of my time, told me, "You little skinny boy, how great shooter you were, and we couldn't defend you." Yes, big brother, I had the chance to get hepatitis B. That was my gift. Basketball is game of rise and fall. Sometimes you get sick or injured and fall and rise in 6 months. Sometimes you lose the game and next morning you need to rise because you will have another game in 1 week. And during the game you fall 100 times and rise 100 times. One team gets the possession of the ball roughly 100 times. When the rival makes the basket, your team loses the ball, you fall. Then you rise. If you play as playmaker, now they call it number 1 or number 2. We used to call playmaker and off guard. I used to play number 1 or number 2 position. If you are in a playmaker position, your life in a game is as follows. When the rival makes the basket, you only have a couple of milliseconds to mourn and analyze it. Milliseconds, I'm saying. I'm not misspelling. While the ball is falling through your basket, you start thinking. Left brain generates. How many points we are ahead or behind? How many seconds left? How many minutes? We should play fast or slow? Go for 2 points or 3 points? Who else than me now is in the play with me in my team? Are there any foul players in the rival team? And can we play on him? What kind of play? And meanwhile, coach says something. And your right brain sends you something. An intuition. You never know how it comes, but it comes. And you take a decision. It's still not enough. You take the decision in 3 seconds. Then you have to communicate your decision with the team. You call the game. 3, 1, 5, fist, head, whatever. You have to do that in 3-4 seconds as well. Sometimes you call game 1, but a teammate is at the wrong place. You direct him. Not this side, other side is still not enough. Meanwhile, when you are dealing with these decisions, communicating and directing the team, a defense just in front of you tries to catch the ball from you or restrain you from doing whatever you want to do. An annoying defense is there for you. When my basketball career ended and I started corporate life and was a top executive, for instance, as the CEO of AFM Cinemas, I faced no such defense. Imagine I'm in my office and take a decision and want to tell to a colleague. I open the door and face Muzaffer, the CEO of Mars Cinemas, which is the rival. What the hell are you doing? Defense. I'm gonna get your idea, or at least I will not let you pass it on your chief operating officer. No such things happen in corporate life. Aren't you agree? No such things happen. Budget once a year, 3 or 5 years strategic plans, revisions in every 6 months, monthly board of director meetings, meeting with your team. To take a decision, you receive reports, marketing, financial, KPI. You meet with your team, get great ideas. Man, I'm saying 3 seconds. For one who used to taking decisions in 3 seconds, that is boring sometimes. As my professional career ended, I, as a lunatic chasing excitement and adventure, started a production business. I found myself once again in a rise and fall game. Such is a producer's life. If your TV series is going well, everything is perfect. And one day, the rating of the show drops, they stop broadcasting it, your income drops to 0. Not like, sales are not great, it dropped 20%. Either it's a couple of millions per week or 0. In 2008, this is exactly what we have faced. As the crisis arose, our 2 series were stopped by the broadcasters. We were not expecting it, and we hit the ground to 0. We needed to make something to rise, but it had to be different than what we used to do. Actually, it is what everyone is looking for. Low budget, but very stunning. How is that possible? We found it. We found that low budget and stunning thing. However, the TV networks, ATV, Kanal D, Showstar, etc. were not convinced. The visionary channel executives said, that cannot be made in Turkey, this is not proper for Turkey, this cannot be a success, blah 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 blah. This Turk liked the show finally, and we signed a contract. The show was broadcasted for 7 years, become one of the longest broadcasted show in the country. In my opinion, it was the most stunning and revolutionary show of Turkey. The title was Bir Kadın Bir Erkek. Yes, one man and one woman. It wasn't the last production I made. I founded an animation studio with the dream of producing animation films here in this country and showing them to all the children of the world. That is possible because children don't have prejudice like us. They don't care about religion, language, race and other kind of silly things. We spend a lot of money, time, energy and could make a very good animation series. TRT, the public channel, commissioned the show, giving 3 years guarantee. Everything is fine. TRT expect us to develop another show. TRT cancelled the contract. Its title was 4x4. Probably you didn't hear because TRT stopped broadcasting it after the 13th episode. We asked what happened. You said you liked the show. Well, the show is nice. Then what's the matter? Rating is not high enough? No, rating is fine. Then what?
Çapulcu musun? Vay vay. Keşke koro olsaydı söylesin.
We were çapulcu. We had an attitude during Gezi resistance. We didn't change our attitude. We still don't. We will not. We pay whatever is the price. We weren't one of the lab dogs which stay in the cage despite they are given electric shocks in the butt. My brother's name is Mustafa Altioklar, maybe you know. He's a movie director. In fact, he's a medical doctor. And during Gezi resistance, he organized field infirmaries to treat people who are wounded. In conclusion, TRT cancelled the contract, we paid the price, then moved on. Now I'm thinking that I have to thank the TRT executives. If they didn't so, I may still be struggling to produce a show for them. I'm at coaching. The meaning of my life changed. What is coaching? My father had asked me that question as well 6-7 months ago. He's probably confused. I studied computer engineering, then MBA, played basketball, made films, animation studios and so on. I explained him in a few sentences. I didn't want to bother him. He was 89. He said, I understand. And I'm very happy for you. 20 days ago, he passed away. He was 90 years old. He was a medical doctor and we found out that he was saying to his assistants, in order to raise the patient, you need to hold their heart before you hold their hands. I mean, he wasn't one of today's doctors who raise the patient if they can hold the wallet or credit card, otherwise say fuck off. He was different. A couple of days before he passed away, a coach friend of mine visited him in the hospital. My father said to her, you coaches are doing something formidable. You can change the world. Neither politicians nor armies can make it, but you can. This is calling human being to their humanity. That was my father's understanding of coaching. How could it be a gift in one's father's disease? I had one. I was very lucky. My father gave me my purpose of life while going. Calling human being to their humanity. Next month I will be 54. I fell down a lot of times so far and each time I get up stronger. Each time I'm getting up stronger doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. In fact, this is the critical point. The more it hurts, the stronger I am getting up.
Teşekkür ediyorum.